In a world made of creation, where every block placed reshapes reality, there are some places that do not feel built but born, far beyond the noise of movement, beyond the shaping of land and structure. There is a sound that changes everything, a sound that does not ask for attention but slowly takes it anyway. Water falling, endless, patient, a hidden waterfall within the world, as if the land itself is exhaling something that is held on for too long. At first, it is only noise in the distance, but a whisper between the stone and the air. But the closer that you move, the more it becomes something else entirely, a presence. And then you see it, a waterfall, not just flowing, but pouring from the edge of the world, like time itself is spilling forwards. It does not rush, it does not hesitate, it simply continues. Stone frames its descent, not as a prison, but as a path. Every block around it feels like it's shaped by repetition, as if water has been carving this place long before you even arrived. The air changes here, cooler, softer, heavier, in a way that feels peaceful rather than overwhelming. Sound becomes layered. The crash of water below, the steady fall above, the quiet space between where thoughts begin to slow. And you stand there, watching something that never stops moving, yet somehow feels still. There is something about waterfalls that feels familiar, not because you have seen them often, but because they resemble something inside of you. The constant motion of thoughts, the emotions that never fully settle, the parts of the mind that keep flowing, even when everything else pauses. And yet, here, it feels different because this motion is not chaos, it is harmony. Each drop follows the same path, but no two moments are exactly alike. And somehow, that is comforting. You begin to realise this place is not just about water, it is about persistence, about the idea that movement does not have to mean disorder, that something can fall endlessly and still be beautiful. The waterfall does not try to be anything else. It does not question its direction. It does not resist its nature. It simply is. And in that simplicity, there is peace. There are times when the world feels like too much, too many thoughts, too many expectations, too many things moving at once. And in those moments, places like this feel different. Not because they solve anything, but because they remind you that motion can exist without pressure. You stay a little longer than expected, not because anything is happening, but because nothing is demanding anything from you. The water continues its descent, unchanged, unbothered, unending, and somehow that becomes grounding. Because even in a world built from blocks, even in something artificial by nature, there are moments that feel real in a different way, not because they exist physically, but because of what they make you feel. And this waterfall, this simple, endless flow, feels like that. A reminder that not everything needs to be held. Some things are meant to move on their own. And so you watch, not trying to understand it anymore, just letting it exist, letting it move, letting it be what it is. And slowly, something inside you follows its example, not rushing, not resisting, just flowing forward. The waterfall remains constant, quiet, eternal in its own way. A piece of the world that never stops reminding you that every moment can be peace. And as you turn away from the waterfall, the sound stays with you a little longer than the sight, like a memory that doesn't fade all at once. If you want to be a part of what comes next, there's a link to the Discord in the pinned comment below. And remember, speaking up is strength, even when it feels like it's moving too fast. Your voice still matters in the flow. Until next time, keep building worlds that remind you how to breathe again. And before you go, remember that taking a break isn't giving up. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause, breathe, and allow yourself a moment to rest. Just like this waterfall never forces its flow, you don't have to force yours either. Rest isn't stopping. It's how we find the strength to keep moving forward.